Well, hello, and good morning. Good morning to all of you out there. I'm Reina Creole. And sorry, I said I got a horse this morning because the temperature dropped here in Florida. So try not to get sick. But welcome, folks. This is the Resort Recon live podcast here. I'm in studio, so you guys can ask all of those questions I don't get a chance to answer when I'm out in the parks. And this is basically a time for you to ask myself and my amazing panel of fellow theme park nerds what's going on in the parks, advice for visiting the parks, all of that type of stuff. And as usual, we do keep it real here. So thanks for all you folks on YouTube dropping in, all of you guys over on X tuning in. We have got a jam-packed show for you today. We've got some news from Universal regarding a rumored roller coaster replacement. Some not so nice pictures about what's happening over there at Epcot. And of course, asking us what's going on with the theme parks for the holidays. We'll let you guys know what our favorite parks are for the holidays, what are not our favorite parks for the holidays, and tips to keep you sane visiting theme parks for the holidays. So first of all, folks, I'm going to bring in my motley, amazing crew. First, going to bring in my dude, Ron Bradley. How are you doing, my dear?
I'm good. I just need to say for the record, my makeup person has the day off today. So yeah, this is what you get.
You know what? I've had days like that where I've just screw it. I'm not wearing any makeup. And
that's pretty much every day.
Or I'm wearing extremely minimal makeup, which I should never do if I walk into a Sephora or an Ulta, because then they come after you. Like, oh, we have this. I'm like, I know the drill. Leave me alone. Back off. Leave me alone. Not buying anything this week. But glad you are here. Glad you're hanging out with us on this lovely, amazing Saturday. And I am very happy to introduce you guys to a new panelist who's guesting today. He's also a theme park nerd and has been in my chat, and he's got a wonderful channel. So you are definitely going to have to check that out. And folks, introducing Braylon.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Reina Creole. Hey, everybody in the chat. So glad and honored and joyful to be here on this Saturday with y'all. Glad to be here.
We're definitely glad to have you here. Can never have too many theme park nerds. That's
right. Now,
I guess maybe you can, but
are you related to Bruce or Brandon?
No. I've done that joke so many times. If I could flip that, I would say that I am the Bruce Lee of media.
There you go.
I have my combination kicks of being in the know. So not the best way to spin it, but I do what I can.
It works. I love it. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
I like that. I like that spin, which is kind of funny considering my channel. I model it off of my talk show media idol, which would be Wendy Williams. So sad what's happened to her, but I love her, and she would always be queen of all media. And she always had something.
What did I miss? What happened to her?
She had dementia. Like, it's gotten really bad.
Oh no!
And she had like lymphedema in her legs. If you go back and watch I think it was on Netflix, or they did, go and watch that. It is one of the best retrospectives about Wendy Williams and how she got into media and what happened, with her life. Because I knew Wendy Williams when she showed up in Philadelphia. That's how I knew her, but I didn't know a lot of the other stuff that happened in New York, and basically how allegedly Puffy got her fired from Hot 97 in New York. That's what she learned in Philadelphia. Mhm. The whole thing with Total.
Yes. Oh my. Let me tell you something. You know, I sincerely try to, and I think it's on Lifetime, by the way, because she has a deal with them. She did the movie and the documentary and the 3-part miniseries. But basically, what happened? She is permanently disabled, and it's really sad. You know, because honestly, to tell you the truth, even though she did some things that she's not proud of, then again, we all have made mistakes. She really pounded the pavement at a time where, you know, first of all, being a woman, then being a black woman, then getting into a lane that's not your own, and being on your own island until everybody wanted to come to it. So I will always give her that respect. So
Yeah, she was that. She was that woman.
yes, she
How would I say that? And she had a show like no one like no one else. And I'm sitting
no,
here trying to share this and doesn't want to go. But me growing up, listening to her, watching her, and it's probably no coincidence that, I've got hair like her. Uh, she was perfectly happy with being who she was
yes,
and moving through the worlds that she did. Like for myself, it's like I had interests like in fashion and technology
mm-hmm.
and science fiction and in sports. It kind of like ran the gamut instead of saying, oh well, you need to stick in this particular lane. She didn't care. She
Yep,
didn't care. She did shows the way she wanted to do shows. She was loud. She was out there. She didn't care. It's like she cared, but she didn't care.
yep,
She just had this large personality and she was just happy
yes,
being herself. And in her documentary, she was just like, you know what? I became my own best friend. And I
yep.
just did what I wanted to do. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I freaking love that. So if you guys think I'm spicy and I keep it real, go watch some stuff that we used to talk about. Okay.
Listen, when Judge Judy says to Wendy Williams, "I don't hold a candle to you," and that's Judge Judy, you've made it. And not to mention too, I don't think people really get. She did that live every day at 10 a.m. for
Every
13
day.
years. And so to be able to take YouTube and all the blogs and to make that a daily talk show, much credit to her and her team, and not to mention to have that much energy at 10 o'clock in the morning. My
Yeah,
Lord.
because I didn't. I didn't. I was just like, I don't know how you do that. Well, we know how she did it.
Yes,
We know how she did it, and
she drunk Coca-Cola zero sugar a lot. So
yeah, yeah, and a lot of the devil's dandruff, so to speak. If you don't get
yes,
that joke, go watch Deadpool 2. But yeah, I love her to death. If you guys see, sometimes I feel so bad. It's like I send a dossier out to everybody on the panel before before a show, but that's who I got her from. Hot Topics. Wendy Williams, she would grab all the tabloids, she
mhm.
looked through them, and that's how she would start off her show with
Oh yes,
was
it
just
was
to
it was
do
it was, and a fun
stuff.
fact for those of you who may not know. So in the early days, she would have notes in her wigs, and she would actually pull out the notes live on air. I mean, she she really went there with the show, and not to mention too, I think the heart of the show was she made $1 out of 15 cents, because most talk shows, they are built on
Mhm.
guests, or as I like to say, these are celebrity interviews to make sure they're not homeless on the street. I say that jokingly, of course, but because no celebrities wanted to come on her show, she made Hot
Yes, this is
Topics.
the same thing. Yes, it is. There's a reason I do that, but yes,
Let it
it
snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Yes, indeed.
say hello to my little friend.
Yes.
Bronzo Kilborn. No, she is legally incapacitated. She is because of the dementia and everything.
Yeah.
And let's put it this way, she had that so under wraps that people didn't know until after she did the documentary that's what she was suffering from. And
I didn't know until today.
Really?
Yeah.
No, literally, I did not know. I thought, because when you pull her up on YouTube, it's like sometimes I don't pay attention to dates, and I'm like, oh, so she looks.
And
okay.
she even on her talk show, like I was saying, she made Hot Topics a thing because nobody wanted to come on, so it would start 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then it became 20 or 25 minutes. But it was to the point where she was going to rehab, and somebody took pictures of it, and then she came on her talk show live and said that I go to a rehab with some smelly boys. There's a call time and everything else, and then I get in the car, I come to the show, and then I go back to rehab. And she admitted that live on her show. So yeah, she's always been vulnerable. Always.
It's tough always for me to see people in the media like this and their health, especially the good. It always seems to happen to the really good people where something happens and their health declines. You've got, the thing that happened to Christopher Reeve back in the day, the horse accident, which some people say was not completely an accident, which is kind of also scary. And then, the girl that played Kelly on Married with Children, I forget her name.
Christina Applegate.
Christina Applegate. And then also from the Superman Christopher Reeve movies, the lady that played Miss Teschmacher has really bad Parkinson's. And it's just like, wow. You just think there is nobody who is invulnerable. It doesn't matter whether you're incredibly wealthy. Michael J. Fox, of course, another one. Nobody's invulnerable to this. And you got to have your health, and it's Thanksgiving just passed, but it's always, if I'm still here and I'm okay, I'm still grateful for life, grateful for God, grateful for my family.
Amen.
Grateful for friends.
Yes.
And grateful that my friends here on the panel are streaming this stream simultaneously to their channels. So
very excited.
Love it. Love sharing the love. And Aldo says, Ron, I agree. The best people sometimes get the biggest problems. Maybe God gives the toughest battles to the strongest. I don't know. That is.
If that's true, God, I just want you to know how absolutely weak I am. So.
Wait a minute.
You're aware, right?
It's funny, Ron and Aldo. I have this theory that God has a God DM. And sometimes I feel like when he sees a DM from Brian, it's like, okay, I'm gonna put him on mute. Sometimes because it's like, hey, listen, can you go like you said, Ron? Can you go into Braylon's file? Be like, okay, we're gonna take this level 5 assignment down to like a level 2 assignment. Just for 2 weeks. We're gonna give him a reprieve from level 5 assignments.
Why did I just have a flashback to what was that movie? Was it Bruce Almighty? Was it that one?
Yeah,
and he wanted to be God, and so all the messages come.
Yes to everybody. Yes,
it was hilarious.
That movie, the second movie wasn't as good, the Noah one, but Bruce Almighty. I mean, there's a lot of such good lessons in that movie, and I love absolutely. Morgan Freeman as God.
Oh my God!
Such the perfect casting. Like
it was
in my lifetime. The only person who's ever played God where it worked like that was George Burns. And I'm old,
Yes,
so, the Oh God movies. But yeah,
I remember those. I remember those.
I wouldn't mind seeing them bring Morgan Freeman back as God again in some other type of third installment of that.
Oh, absolutely. It definitely has legs. I think one of the most iconic scenes is when Jim Carrey's character walks into this blank room and there's this one filing cabinet and he opens it and it just stretches and then he falls down on the ground. And then the gag is the filing cabinet goes straight back and he hits his face on the filing cabinet. It's just like,
oh my gosh.
Really good writing.
my lord.
Very, very good writing. Oh, thank you so much for becoming a member.
Awesome.
I sure do
Yeah.
appreciate that. Thank you. So much great stuff for members. There's member emojis. There's member post, which reminds me I have to post the progress on my Ariel themed Christmas tree.
Yes.
I'm wondering where the tree is with all the stuff that's on it. Plus, watch parties. We're going to be watching Alien Romulus this month, and of course, the annual watch-a-thon of all the old school Christmas, specials and movies and stuff like that. We like to watch.
Awesome sauce.
Love you guys as members. Love everybody. Members, appreciate the heck out of you too, for real, for real, for real. So let's get into the theme park news before we start talking theme park for the holidays Q&A. This first one here coming to us from WDW News Today, actually coming from their Universal Parks and News Today.
Mm-hmm.
This has to be what I would call the worst coaster in Universal Orlando. This would be Rip Ride Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why it's the worst coaster for me is 3 reasons. 1, they went from 30 songs you could pick from to like 5. 2, the best part is right here, where you go straight up and then straight down, and then after that it's kind of like a snoozer. And part 3, the third reason, is if the weather drops like really low, it won't run.
Yeah,
the tracks. I think the track contract or something like that because of the cold. So yeah.
This one's down quite a bit. But to be fair, I think this particular coaster, if I remember correctly, suffered a great deal of damage during the Sharknado season of.
Oh, we still gotta watch that.
Roughly a decade ago. By the way, don't play that because it will get claimed. I know.
I totally forgot about those movies. Oh my god.
Sharknado 3. Okay, we have to watch that one because that one they did film at Universal and featured Cabana Bay Resort. That's the one where, because the Sharknado movies.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, if you think anybody has a bad idea.
Heavily.
Remember, there was somebody in the meeting that said, hey, let's make movies about sharks in a tornado. And yes, they featured this ride heavily in Sharknado 3. That's the one where everybody pretty much did a cameo in that film. So if there was ever a true Universal Orlando film, it would be Sharknado 3. And you see,
I wish that I would have been in it. I had the opportunity to be in it because there was very much an open call, and I didn't go. And I'm like, I kind of regret that to this day. I'm like, that would have been fun just to show up and be somewhere in the back, and you know.
Well, I mean, hey, listen, there is an audience out there for everybody. Nostalgia is trending. So, I mean, listen, Sharknado 4 could be a possibility.
Oh, no, Sharknado 4, 5, and 6, I think, have already been done. I don't know where.
Yeah, they've been done. I kind of started to drop off interest after.
But they're for comedy. Yeah. I wish somebody has anybody cut like a 90210 episode where they intercut the Sharknado scenes to make it work. That would be hilarious just to see. Ian Ziering intercut.
I bet you somebody did. It would not surprise me if somebody did for real. But yeah, this is a rumor. Intamin multi-launch roller coaster replacing Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, written by Katie Francis. Now, Intamin already has one multi-launch coaster at Universal Orlando. Do you guys know which one that is?
Is it? It's not Velasco. Is it Velasco's?
Winner, chicken dinner. It is the Velocicoaster, which is my favorite coaster in the whole freaking park. I love that coaster. I love it so much.
it's a great coaster because it's also scary. As you know,
That,
yeah,
You
it's
I will say that is the one good thing about Universal. They know how to evolve the storytelling where they keep the soul of the franchise, but they diversify it where everybody can have their own moments. Because, the river adventure is for the 90s and the Velocicoaster is for today. So they seem to know how to understand the spectrum of their audience for sure.
I would love to. There's a Jurassic World ride, I believe, at Hollywood, right? And I wish that there was some way they'd bring that here. They should. That would actually be a really good addition to Epic whenever they expand it, to have more Jurassic at Epic, like a Jurassic World as one of the gateways. And Epic would be really, really cool. Obviously, they're starting with properties that I think are perfect to start with, especially that Monsters. Won't get into that, but yeah, I definitely see this rumor as being very much tilting toward the "it's going to happen" side.
Yeah, definitely. Considering how much this particular coaster is down, especially it being unreliable when the temperatures drop to a certain level, and there's just not as much thrill. I mean, the Velocicoaster, first of all, it was the worst kept secret because they were building it and Universal wasn't saying a darn thing about it. And then all of a sudden, boom, it came online, and it is literally like being in the Jurassic World movie. It is freaking awesome when you ride that. So fans of Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket at Universal Studios Florida should prepare for a farewell tour because the coaster is said to be retiring soon. Rumors have swirled of the coaster's demise for a while, but sources close to WDW News Today have reported it's soon to be replaced by a multi-launch Intamin coaster. Notably, Universal recently installed a multi-launch Intamin coaster next door to Islands of Adventure, Jurassic World Velocicoaster, and it's not uncommon for theme park companies to strike multi-attraction purchase deals. Now, when they talk about a multi-launch, there's a multi-launch coaster that is over at the studios, which is Slinky Dog Dash. It's it's very mild dual launch coaster, but Velocicoaster, you get one launch when you start, when you're running with all the, with all the raptors and everything. And then all hell has just broken loose and you're going to rethink your life choices. The second launch is even faster than the first one. And if you've ever been on King Dakar at
Great Adventure,
Six Flags Great Adventure, you will get flashbacks at King Dakar when you hit that really, really high hat on the second launch. Like, maybe I shouldn't have done this.
And also, too, the fact that they play off of the velocity of the intensity of the roller coaster, that also kind of helps as well with the Velocicoaster, for sure.
Yeah, that thing is it's so funny. And the fact that you get to watch people like screaming their heads off, like, what the heck is happening? What's going on? Yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and we will be doing a watch party for it again this year.
Oh, for sure.
For every reason.
Question Die Hard's Christmas movie. Yes.
Die Hard, the Christmas movie, and the Cleveland Show parody.
And also, Die Hard was a prequel to the television show Family Matters.
I agree.
Hashtag is a rare condition this day and age.
Another thing about the Velocicoaster.
Nicely done, Ron. Nicely done. Oh,
yeah.
My Lord.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. Hey, let's see who else. Let's see. I saw Sonia just dropping here, Brogy dropping here, Amanda dropping here.
Does this article have the possible theming of this? Because there was another show that I was on where they were looking at the rumored and possible theming. I don't know if you saw
hadn't heard. No, I hadn't heard. I hadn't heard that.
So it's based on the fact that they are building a Fast and Furious themed coaster out in Hollywood. That they might be doing that here. And I was saying, theming wise, that kind of makes sense because their current, if my understanding is correct, and I've never actually been on it, the Fast and Furious attraction here apparently is not particularly popular, or it's not that great of an
No,
attraction.
it
Okay,
is the
so
worst.
was
It is
calling it the
worst
worst
part.
attraction.
it would make a lot of sense for them to then, because of that property and its popularity, the actual movie itself, to do Fast and Furious, a different version, a different coaster than the one that they're doing in Hollywood, but also because this whips through the cityscape of New York. And so that could be a part of the storyline of the coaster of a Fast and Furious race through downtown New York City, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I could see that, especially when you're talking dual launch. You have your first launch, if you have your second one, because there's always that hang time that they have going on in the Fast and Furious movies. The slow motion, jump like that. I could totally see that happening.
May I pitch a theme live now?
Sure.
Like I said, when my media brain gets to brain, just follow me because my rambling comes greatness. If you have Epic Universe and you got Super Nintendo World, and everybody may not be able to go to Epic Universe because right now it's the multi-day tickets, but eventually you'll get single part tickets. Maybe this can be a Rainbow Road coaster, because I remember from IAPA that there was some lighted tracks, right? And you talked about the tracks, right? It was from 30 down to 5. They just came out with Nintendo music. So if you think about New York City, New Donk City from Super Mario Odyssey, and then you can keep the stage right there, and then Mario can be in Universal Orlando, so that way people can go there, and then that will drive them to Epic Universal. I'm not saying I'm available, for hire, but just
some connectivity,
Yeah, that is. Same
although Lorena, I'm sure, would love to hear that the proposed idea for the Fast and Furious coaster is that Jason Momoa would always sit next to her.
Yes, that would be that would you laugh, but the only reason I'm going to go see the Minecraft movie is because Jason Momoa is in it.
They don't have him looking at his usual manly self in that movie.
No, he doesn't, and he looks like a hair band member gone wrong and stuck in the 80s. And I'm all here for it. Yes, I do. I sent hard for Jason Momoa, like Anna, that Star Wars girl, sims for Henry Cavill. I am very honest with that.
So basically, if she gets an invite to Fast and Furious 10 Part 2 and she gets to be in the press line, it's a requirement that has to be Jason Momoa, or the assignment will not be done, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I just like to say for the record, I simp hard for a Venezuelan woman named Virginia Bradley. We're not talking about any actresses.
You simp from Miss Virginia. Yes, you do.
That's right.
Well done, Ron. Well done.
Thank you, Frankie. I'm telling you, one of the reasons why I like that Fall Guy movie, why I added extra points, is they had Jason Momoa in it. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway,
I forgot about that.
I am very much looking forward to this coaster being removed and something else put in its place, because it's just not as hype as it used to be back in the day, and it doesn't have the staying power like the Mummy coaster does. Which is really awesome. If it's really cold today and y'all are out of Universal, go when the Mummy returns. There's fire in there. Trust me, you'll get warm real fast. That's the one that.
And don't worry about the bugs crawling all over you.
Yeah, don't. They'll keep you warm.
That coaster, I think it's a good coaster to replace, because it kind of reminds me of like an older Six Flags type coaster. Honestly, it does have that kind of a vibe to it.
Yeah, it does.
It's just not keeping up with today's theme park world and the competition that's going on. And for what Universal is known for, I would just like to see something, better, something improved, replace it. Here's what I don't want to see happen to this coaster. I don't want it to be replaced with something that has much lesser theming to it, horrible boring points, and about 75% downtime. That and maybe not load the track with broccoli.
Let's not do that, okay? Yes, Bugs. There's a scene. If you've ever seen The Mummy, and the scarabs come out, there's a scarab scene in there, which is really, really.
I love it. I love it.
Freaking cool.
The Mummy's a great coaster. It's fun. It's fun. It's very different. It's not just a coaster. It's a whole experience.
And not to mention too, you think about the theming and the world that they did. They did that before theme parks really, took it to that energy. And although you know what Ron and Reina Creole sounded like, they sounded like you were at the bar and there's this huge drink that is the fan favorite of the bar, but it gives you a horrible now. They're like, go ahead and take it. You sure? Yes, nothing is going to happen to you. Nothing at all.
What was that?
Well, there's a drink like that at
Galaxy's Edge?
Disney. No, I was gonna say at the Tambu Lounge Bar.
Oh. Called
the Lapu Lapu. You drink 2 of those and you're invisible.
I was thinking of the fuzzy
from
tauntaun.
Experience.
What? Which one?
The fuzzy tauntaun. Oh. He said speaking from experience. I said the fuzzy tauntaun. I think it's called the fuzzy tauntaun, with the one that made your lips buzz. It had those.
Oh no! I didn't drink that one.
No,
I didn't drink that one. I always had the Bespin Fizz, the one that's got the dry ice. Remember the one that I drank in honor of the Acolyte being canceled?
The only thing I've ever had at Oga's is their version of the blue milk with the cookie on top, which is a much better version of blue milk than the one they sell at the stand.
E.T. for the Mummy. Oh, they did go in Shogi? I didn't know that.
In Hollywood?
Oh, in Hollywood. Oh, okay. Oh,
not
dang.
Here.
Yeah, I was gonna say I no, the E.T. was protected. Yeah.
They have I don't know what the Mummy is in Hollywood now. I think it's new, because when I went there, gosh, it's been 25 years, I think. The Mummy was like a walkthrough experience in Hollywood, and it was not at all like our roller coaster here. And I think they made a more exciting Mummy attraction over there in Hollywood, and that's what he's talking about. Let me know if I'm wrong, going Shogi.
Okay, no, because they don't crawl on you. The scarabs don't crawl on you. Let's just say there's a projection, and they sound and look very, very real.
Your mind can make you feel it, though. Like it's one of those things where it's like, oh my gosh, that you like, and maybe it's not happening, but yeah, it's
coasters, guys. I would say that the queue, if you've ever been to the Indiana Jones attraction in Anaheim, which I have, which is freaking awesome. The theming of that queue pretty much is like the theming of the queue and the Mummy. When you walk through that, it looks like you were literally, you don't know if you're on a set or on an authentic dig of an Egyptian temple. And the statue of Anubis that you go by, it is huge. It is so cool. When you look at it, it's just like, is it gonna fall on us? I hope it doesn't. It doesn't fall on us. But
it's also so based on the Brendan Fraser series of movies, not the Tom Cruise one. So
I didn't even know that one existed, dude.
The Tom Cruise, yeah,
I didn't know.
It's purposefully not worth watching. It's so pointless.
I'm kind of glad I never
the Brendan Fraser Mummy, especially the first one. It's just such a fun time. Even now revisiting it, it's got a little bit of cheesiness to it, but it's fun. I mean, what I go back to this today. Like, what the heck is wrong with movies just being fun? I mean,
it is so fun. It's like a harken back to the monster films of the 1930s. Like, you had the Mummy from the 1930s, and that also had camp, comedy that was in it. So I'm glad they totally went back to that. But something else to bring up, which is one of my favorite places to hang out now, and that's over at the Red Coconut Club. And it was the Dead Coconut Club for Halloween Horror Nights, and they had the Bloomhouse bar and everything that was up there. But now they've got it themed. It's the Red and Green Coconut Club. So you've got like photo ops like this, like the Mistletoe Pine Ski Lodge, and what else you got? They've got like see, it's all swagged out. Visit Earl's Tree Farm. This is fun, and I want to say, I think Disney ripped off this idea from Universal because they're doing their quote unquote family friendly Pirates of the Caribbean lounge, right? The Red Coconut Club is completely family friendly. It's for everyone. They sell alcohol there, but I almost want to say the alcohol is not the main attraction. The main attraction is how they theme this place. Because if you see my live stream that I did during Halloween Horror Nights and we went in, they had like coffin photo ops. It was swagged out like a vampire bar from the 80s. So they had like old school TVs and they had like the music going and fun places just like hang out, sit there, chill, get whatever you want. And it was a very, very nice atmosphere. And it still is. So I like how they did this for Christmas. So I'm going to have to check this out. So this is in City Walk at Universal. So there's free parking after 6. And it's on the second floor. So if you go in the City Walk, then take the escalators to the left, go on up there, and that's where it is. And it's so cool. Everything in City Walk right now is themed to Christmas with the Earl the Squirrel, who is the mascot every year. And look at that. This is so cool. How they going to theme this? The Pirates Bar is just as family friendly as ESPN betting and Disney Plus. Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, I'm not.
Did they steal that from Blizzard Beach since it's down right now?
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yes.
I mean,
That is a good point.
Yes.
They yeah. Like, y'all aren't using this. Hey, Therian. So finally I made to watch it live. Well, welcome and thank you. Thank you.
That,
and
by
yes,
the way, is one of my favorite
bar.
things about the Blizzard Beach water park is that it has that feature in it that they don't have that anywhere else. And seems so weird, but it's like, it's really not nice not to have to take 500 steps to the top of a water attraction. So
if you think about it, that was the Disney Skyliner before the Disney Skyliner.
And the predecessor to that was the Skyway at Disney. So,
oh, that's true. I bet you probably one of whoever it was at Universal Creative, I guess, was probably one of those former Disney Imagineers folks. Remember, Universal got a lot of Disney Imagineers when they laid them off.
Well, Universal has also become very good at trolling Disney on social media.
Yeah.
They do
yeah.
Oh my God! You know what this is reminding? You know what this is reminding me of when Walt Disney had Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. It was Charles Mintz that undermined Disney and took his animators and Oswald the Rabbit. So when you guys brought up the Universal taking Disney's Imagineers, it kind of made me think of that parallel to that. Eventually, Oswald came back to Disney by way of Al Michaels and then Epic Mickey, the video game franchise and all that stuff. But yeah.
The difference being that in that case, Oswald was stolen from Walt, and in the current case, Bob Iger drove off the Imagineers.
Yes.
Bob Chapek and Bob Iger, to be fair, drove off the whole large slate of creative Imagineers, and Disney has lost some of their best creatives over the last 15 years.
Yeah.
So
because it is uncanny. I mean, not so much over at the studios. Well, you'll see in pockets in the studios because it was a different park built from the bottom up. But Islands of Adventure, that was built from the bottom up with former Disney Imagineers, and you feel it every time you walk through that park. And granted, they've got lands kind of cobbled together, but each individual one in isolation, the immersion is perfect, especially if you go to Marvel Superhero Island and you walk in there and you walk under the Hulk coaster. And then at night, if you look at the neon at night, you have like everything from Captain America throwing a shield, and you chase like the neon that's going through there, the skyline, which looks like it's right of like out of like the 80s and 90s comics, which it is. It's the Silver Age,
Mhm.
from what people told me. It is just amazing, and it's uncanny, and you can tell stuff like this. Oh, I need those nutcrackers. I'm just saying, I like
I
collecting
just
them.
realized, Lorena, you've never seen a picture of me in the Universal Captain America costume, have you?
I don't think so.
So
you're gonna
back
you're
in,
gonna have to show me.
I'll share it. I'll some point in time share it with you. I gotta find it, but it's not very good. It's not a very good picture because I wasn't supposed to take it. But
Oh.
I auditioned for. Well, I auditioned for and made Halloween Horror Nights. I was a scare actor in 2010, and
Mhm.
about 2 weeks after they cast me, they said, "Hey, can you come in and read for this other part?" And I had literally no idea what they were doing with me at the time, but I was actually in really great shape at the time. And they had me try on the Cyclops and Captain America costumes that were the costumes of back then. So I snapped a quick selfie of
Oh,
myself.
I
Now
mean,
this
I mean,
was
I mean, I mean, listen, that would have
this,
been anybody. I
yeah,
mean, you get the chance to play a role.
yeah. I
That's
mean, of
part of your
course.
childhood. Oh, you would be silly not to. And yes, I do.
So
I do.
yeah,
This
so I
is
did that, and this was prior to the first Captain America MCU movie coming out. So I was thinking, well, could be good at the time. Of course, it's not worked out the way I had thought it would in my mind, but it's very interesting to see me in that dorky costume.
Oh man, this is, you're gonna have to show it to me. I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at like all this. Just gives me like 90s vibes. They have the Coca-Cola bar that's here. They've got foosball table, cheesy Christmas lights. It's just fun. Now the really upscale bar is like upstairs. So I think there's like I want to call it like a satellite bar on the bottom floor, but the
Mhm.
bottom floor is more themed to like places to sit, nice photo ops and theming. And then the absolute crazy bar with all the alcohol is upstairs. So this is where they had the Bloomhouse experience, even complete with the Megan doll, which is really cool. So this is actually so this is upstairs. I like this with like the old school theming, like actual, there's just something very tactile about this.
Mhm.
When you see it, it's like you think of any of like those old crazy, not old crazy, but like 80s crazy, like no, what wasn't Ski School, what the heck was that? I'm blanking on what ski movie. It was like a comedy. I can't remember. I cannot remember it right now, but it was really funny. I think it was Ski School. But oh, is that like there's a white elephant they've got up here somewhere? Yeah, right up there. So it's like the white elephant. You ever had the white elephant gift exchange?
Oh
Oh
yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, and I love the cheesy decorations. This is just fun. And the Red Coconut Club is really nice to check out down at Mistletoe Pine Ski Lodge. I like how that looks too. That's really cool. So
Yeah.
yeah, go and check it out. Even if you can't visit Universal for the parks for the holidays, you can visit City Walk, and there's all of this stuff that's going on. How they have it swagged out. It's very comparable to what Disney has going on at Disney Springs, which is, I'm starting a little earlier about the theme park segment, but Disney Springs is actually a very good experience to have during the holidays. They do stuff there. They kind of keep it under wraps, but really is a cool experience to do. Very family friendly. Um, did they steal this from Gaston, Ron? Is that
The
Gaston's
antlers.
antler? Yeah.
You know what? It's funny because over at Gaston's Tavern the other day, they're showing this. Gaston uses antlers in all of his decorating, so even the wreaths, the Christmas decorations that they have up, have antlers in the wreaths and all the Christmas stuff everywhere. It's pretty cool. Speaking of Christmas stuff, question: have you've seen the Christmas tree this year at Magic Kingdom, Lorena? Correct?
Yes, I have.
Is it not? Does that doll? There's a doll that looks like Megan under that tree. I swear, it gives me Megan vibes when you're walking in from the left side, and there's a doll that's just sitting there, and it's just kind of, I don't know, that doll gives me Megan vibes. It doesn't look exactly like her, but it's giving me those vibes.
I'm gonna have to check it out. No, Broku, it's not liquid. It's LED lights that they have going on. And they do have a projection effect, which I have seen. They do it for rain. So it looks like it's the coolest thing. It'll look like there's actual rain and puddles on the floor, but it's a projection.
Very cool.
It's so cool. I've seen them do it in the Halloween Horror Nights tribute store. They also, not the exact same thing, but there's an effect they do with roaches too. The same thing. It looks like, yeah, it does. It looks like roaches on the floor. Abunas, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Someone have a question?
No, I
heard my name.
I was cheering for Abunas.
Yes, Abunas, yes.
Happy to finally pop in and show my love to my awesome producer. Thank you, my dear. I swear Disney needs to pay money to you for doing this. They don't deserve you. Meanwhile, I'm cleaning my house, listening in. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that $10 super chat, my dear. Appreciate that so much. Please do check out Abu Nas's album Security Concepts. It is on Spotify. It is absolute fire. If you miss old school hip hop and tired of the freaking mumble rappers, you need to check out
mumble rappers.
Like, what did he say? What did speak up?
I like full sentences in my raps, please and thank you. I like full sentences.
I know. It's like, come on, give us something to think about.
Yes.
You know, but yeah, you gotta check this out. Again, this is down
it's really nice.
It's really nice. It's a hidden. No, they don't have the old school tabletop game.
Oh, can that?
No way! There were these.
That's with the fishes, right?
Yes.
Is that the water one? Okay.
Yes.
Because there are several different old games like that.
I think so. I saw that one. So they have different tabletop games, après-ski categories, card games. So other little cool things to do, you know, while you're in there. So that's, I love this. It reminds me of the Osborne Lights in a way.
Yes.
Oh, don't remind me of the Osborne Lights.
I know. I bet you someone at Universal Creative said, yeah, remember those Osborne Lights they got rid of?
Yeah. It's that was quite sad.
I will never understand why they couldn't have just moved those to somewhere at Disney Springs. There's plenty of places to put them up at Disney Springs, but they're gone now. I mean, what is Make-A-Wish? I don't know. Somebody's got them.
The Make-A-Wish Village, which you just reminded me, and I may not be able to get a ticket by now. Where you go, there's Give Kids the World Village. That's what it is. Yes. Give Kids the World Village. The whole place is decked out with the lights, just like the Osborne Lights. You can drive through. The money goes to Give Kids the World. I think the proceeds from the Disney license plates goes to Give Kids the World, right? I'm
It
trying to
goes to
remember.
that or Make a Wish.
Or Make a Wish. Yeah, that's
That
why
is
I bought one because I was like, I
I was
don't
gonna
want to
say
go to
I've got
Disney.
that, so
Yeah.
It's quite interesting with the Osborne lights, and although I don't think that that's on purpose, Aldo was saying the only sad parts were blocking Braylon with the long jets on the screen.
Yeah, I'm
It's all
sorry
good.
about that.
It is all. It's
I'm
all good. I
sorry.
am glad to be here. But no, the Osborne lights.
Me down.
The story behind that was the Osborne family in Arkansas. And if you remember Al Copeland, he also had some of those same lights. And so to see my state of Arkansas at the biggest, theme park in the world, it made me proud of my state.
Wait, what part of Arkansas?
Little Rock, the capital city.
All right, so just so you know, I went to both kindergarten and high school in Arkansas.
Oh, very cool.
little town called Horseshoe Bend, and Brockwell was where the school was. But yeah, I moved here from Branson, Missouri, so I was in Arkansas all the time.
Okay, yeah. You said Horseshoe. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
It's up by Salem. It's way north, about 15, 30 miles south of the Missouri border. If you're coming down from West Plains, Missouri. And fun fact, because of my Arkansas connection, when I was there as a little kid, my mom worked for a guy who wasn't that well known at the time, but was the state attorney general. His name was Bill Clinton.
The one and only, of course.
So I have stories that I cannot tell because Hillary might have me. So I don't know.
to use a Disney World attraction, Ron, it is a small world after all.
It is a small world after all.
Yeah, I do. Hey, Bert Oswald. Yeah, the Osborne lights. The Osborne lights, my family looked forward to seeing those every year. They had like the special where they would show how early they had to start putting the lights up, and they would start in the summer. So when we would visit Disney in the summer and we go over there and see like how they had like setting the lights up, I'm like, we're so excited to see the lights. It was like you could pretend to be like Clark W. Griswold.
Yeah,
with all of the lights.
Think about this: they not only got rid of the Osborne lights, but now they've gotten rid of the dream lights on the castle, and it's just like, what's with the lights, Disney? What?
The crazy thing about all this, they have a show on ABC called The Great Christmas Light Fight, and I'm just like, y'all couldn't just combine that for a limited attraction. Like, I'm not saying I'm the media mind that Disney needs or any media company needs, but like, why am I seeing the moves that y'all can make and I don't have the power? I just don't get that.
I feel very much the same.
It's insane, and I think I know why they did it, so they could make money off the soulless projections that they put on the castles. Like, don't get me wrong, but there's a certain feeling that people get attached to when you have actual Christmas lights on the castle. Why? Because people want to go home and replicate the same darn thing. That's that connection that people have.
Here's the thing. So I went to Magic Kingdom 2020. I understood why that year they chose to not do the dream lights. Obviously, you have a lot fewer cast members and employees who could put those things up, and that availability. There's nothing, So 2020, 2021, I thought, okay,
yeah.
Then I'm like, okay, they'll bring them back 2022, and then 2022 they told us about. Okay, what the heck happened? So my understanding now is that they've actually destroyed those dream lights. That's what I have heard, that they don't even exist anymore, that they've actually put them through the crusher or whatever. I don't know that that's true 100%, but it's people throw up pictures all the time on social media now of the dream lights. Oh, it's Christmas again at Disney. Here's the dream. Like, don't do that, because if people expect that when they go, they will be extremely disappointed that all they've got are these projections, and the projections, hey, cool, we've got that technology. You know who else has that technology? Literally everybody. You know where else they put projections? They put projections on freaking wedding cakes. I'm not even kidding. You can get
You can get them from like Lowe's. I mean, I
You can
joke
put
and
them on your
people have
window.
said
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
you can go and get all those projection things, and it's like anybody can do that. And yes, anybody can put lights up on their house, but there was
Not the dream.
something about the dream lights and how they were precisely hung on the castle and the way that they looked, and you combine that with the music. I just have the best memories of going over to Sleepy Hollow and getting some hot chocolate and a disrespectful ass funnel cake, and just sitting there. And
Oh my God.
yes, have you seen the funnel cakes over at Sleepy Hollow?
Well, the last one I had at Disney was from Epcot, and it was horrible. I'm like, I'm never buying a Disney funnel cake again.
No, no. Go to Sleepy Hollow. Comes out, it's got like the hot funnel cake dough that they fried, and then they have the powdered sugar, and then they put the chocolate and the ice cream and all the other stuff on it, and it's just so delicious. So we would sit there and we would eat that, like, and be right there and sit next to the castle and just look at the lights and listen to the music. And it's just like one of the best memories that we have. It's just something to that. So Ron, let's see. This is the one here.
I love it. I love the commitment. I really do. This is great.
That was it, man. I weighed 190 pounds at that time. I was so fit. That was
awesome.
This is so cool because you can see this version of Captain America at Islands of Adventure along with Wolverine. Okay, just when Wolverine rolls out, everybody wants to get pictures with Wolverine with the claws and everything. And that, and another time, usually when Spider-Man isn't busy and he's between meeting people because he likes to spend time with the kids. If I'm live streaming, he will come over to the camera. It's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Come over and say hi. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I wish, well, they can't because Universal's got the rights, and I don't think Universal's going to give up those rights anytime soon.
As long as in perpetuity. Yes,
it's a stranglehold. It's a great stranglehold on Disney.
Oh yeah,
it is. It is.
They've got the best era of Marvel going on over there, folks. Yes, Braylon does have a YouTube channel, so please do go and
much love, everybody.
Subscribe to him over there on YouTube. Got 100 of you watching between X and also let's see, between X and between YouTube. So we sure do appreciate the heck out of you guys being so. Please do make sure that you do hit that subscribe button.
Yes,
for us, we appreciate the heck out of you guys for that. Let's see. So let's jump into the the Disney news. I don't want to.
Oh no, 1994, not 1924. No. Oh no. That's just the handle. That's just the handle. So no. 1994. If that was the case, I would be at the Haunted Mansion doing my residency. If that was the case,
but apparently, Disneyland has an expanded queue for Haunted Mansion.
I saw this. Yes.
And I don't want to say it looks like the Walmart Garden Center because Walmart actually put some forethought in doing that stuff. So I don't want to trash Walmart, but this is what the extended queue looks like. So I'm gonna ask my fellow theme park panelists: does this look anything like the extended queue at the Haunted Mansion in Walt Disney World?
No, I mean the one at Disney World. There's this family that's out in front, and you can follow the clues to see who dealt with who. I'm saying dealt for YouTube terms, and then there's this thing where you can play the different instruments and the bubbles come up, and so it's more involved. than this queue.
Yeah, it's not like that. I honestly tell people, if you've never gone to the Magic Kingdom before and you can take the time to do the queue at Haunted Mansion, do the queue, because the queue is super, super interesting. It's got a lot of the story elements to it. It's got the statues there. You learn about, who, like he said, who is who in the Gracie family and such. And of course, you got the gravestones. You got Madame Leota's gravestone popping her eyes out at you,
Yes.
looking at you and stuff like that. This just looks like, this looks like a Six Flags queue. Like, this is just extra waiting area. Why did they even build this? What was the point?
I don't know. I guess it was to go along with the. Remember that really, really ugly gift shop that they did that looks like slave quarters of a plantation house?
Oh, Spirit Halloween, yes.
Yeah. They went and did that. So I guess they were trying to do the same thing.
Now,
Master Gracie at the fountain now.
I forget if you know it. The style of the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland, that's New Orleans, right? That's supposed to be New Orleans. Whereas
yes, that is New Orleans.
And I believe the one in Magic Kingdom is New England, correct?
That is upstate New York. So,
yeah.
It's supposed to look like Gracie Manor, and it's like the Hudson River Valley. That's what that style is supposed to look like, which it matched perfectly there. If this is supposed to be New Orleans, they failed the assignment. Y'all get a hot, steaming, juicy F. This looks nothing like the Gardens in New Orleans.
Even the movie had more New Orleans than this. And I'm talking about the new Haunted Mansion. Had more New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
I actually feel like the new Haunted Mansion movie and the old Haunted Mansion movie are about equal and different. I like both of them. I don't love either one of them, but they're both fun watches.
Yeah, I enjoyed both of them. I was pleasantly surprised by how well the Haunted Mansion movie was.
I was like, what is it? Owen Wilson? Wow.
Yeah, Owen Wilson, Lakeith Stanfield.
Yes, Rosario Dawson.
Good cast.
Curtis.
It was perfect. They had it down. I mean, I had an issue with them showing Zatarain seasoning instead of Slap Your Mama, but I guess that's the product placement, that they got. But the house was everything. The shots were perfect. Everything.
Oh, and let me not forget Danny DeVito as well.
Oh gosh, he was funny.
That iconic sketch scene.
Oh my gosh. The only elevator up and down was a show elevator.
Agreed.
Yes, they added an elevator, and shout out to Pirates and Princesses, Geeky Sparkles and Neon over there at Clownfish TV, friends of the channel. She did say not only did they add an elevator, but they also added additional artwork that you're only able to see if you exit that way. So I thought that was a nice touch. To add. So if you need accessibility and use the elevator, you get something extra to experience, to see. So that part is inside, and I think it's really cool. But this looks like a hotel garden.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like if the Tower of Terror was cleaned up a little bit in the front from the garden part.
Yeah.
I love the Tower of Terror, Stevie. Oh my gosh! I mean, at least
it's so good. It's like the hotel that time forgot.
It's so strange with Disney. The issue that we have in here, it's like people always say, "Well, why are you complaining? It looks nice." Blah blah blah. Okay, it's not that. People don't realize Disney, for 90 years of their life as a company, set a precedent, and the precedent that they set was, let's be honest, near perfection. There was always that Disney difference that we went above and beyond, and basically for the last 10 to 15 years, that's the issue, is that precedent has slipped. And what we're looking at is the product of people not caring to the level that they used to, and just wanting to make something that is what they would what whoever's making it considers passable, which is what happened with Communicore Hall at Epcot. That's like, oh
yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a minute too. But
yeah,
another thing I wanted to oh, go ahead, Ron. Sorry, I didn't even
no, that's my point. My point is that it's not we are ragging on Disney for doing something that's still kind of nice. It's the fact that they set this precedent and they
Absolutely.
are not living up to their own.
And I will agree with you to that point, because I will tell you, when that 100 Disney Super Bowl commercial came out, I have to tell you that I play that commercial on my channel, and it gives me all the feels. To put 100 years of magic into a minute. And so for those of you who may not be in the media world, to try to figure out how to get every franchise and connect this thread from Walt Disney in Marshall, Missouri, who was under a tree drawing cartoons, to theme parks and live events and showcasing the range of magic. All you got to do is just bring that commercial out into the parks. I mean, for goodness sakes, like with the D23 Expo, and this would be a little fun story. I haven't shared it really on my YouTube channel, but it's on my YouTube channel because I'm streaming it. But I made a fake press release called the Disney 100 for 100. So like 20 ideas from each different age group, and those 100 ideas will become true from Disney, and they would make that happen for the fans. Would have been a great idea to do at D23, you know, and you have a year-long thing, and then at D23, that's when the 100 Dreams will be released live. And by the way, ABC, Disney, just got a question for you. You've done D23 for how many years, and you never done primetime coverage on ABC? Okay, y'all got it. Y'all got it. Y'all got it.
Speaking of D23, Destination D23 is going to be at the
Coronado Springs.
Coronado Springs. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to drag myself down.
My last workplace at the D.
Coronado.
Yeah.
Coronado Springs. I really do not like that resort, but it's geared towards a different. I have stayed at the Coronado Resort. No, I did not stay at the tower. I'm sorry. As cute as the tower is, it's still not going to make me want to stay there. It was not one of my favorite places to stay. But keeping on the theme with the Disney,
maintenance for
if you think it's bad that there's a brain drain from Imagineering, the loss of maintenance knowledge is even worse, because I remember Disney attractions were pristine. They would hose down the parks at night, every night, to make sure it was clean. If a ride broke down, it was a rare occurrence when that happened. It's just like, oh, it must be something really, really bad, that happened.
You know what happened? I think I can translate what's going on, Aldo and everybody. Basically, Groot broke out of Guardians of the Galaxy or the roller coaster in Epcot, and he just wanted a break from his family members and went over to the Millennium Falcon. That's what happened here. That's what happened, guys. It's all good. Groot is okay. He's just taking a vacation from his family.
Doing okay, Groot? Are you Groot?
Groot? I am Groot. Is he going to start going back and forth and vibing?
I mean, it has the body structure to do it, so I would say so.
So cute with the
hey, yeah. What's the matter with you?
Where did I put Groot? Groot's somewhere around. Wait. Oh wait, he's behind. He's behind. He's behind the orange. He's behind the orange bird. I'm sorry to bring that.
In the words of Maui, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
I love that song.
Yes,
Which is
a classic.
which I definitely don't love the songs of Moana too, but that's a different thing.
Falcon.
It's just I've never seen this at all. And Leah McNeil says the Reina Creole Disney's maintenance woes can be easily explained. Iger and Co. have disrespected Walt so much his angry spirit of sabotage and the rise. That's like
Yeah.
Burr Rabbit. That's like Burr Rabbit's revenge for Tiana's Bayou adventure.
Oh my Lord, Jesus!
I'm sorry, but what is wrong with their Falcon maintenance team? They're
Going to bat for Disney.
their Millennium Falcon maintenance team.
They really are. Thank you, Going Shogi, for being a member for 4
Yes.
months. Going to bat for Disney is leaving a sour taste. Yeah, it's like we bring this stuff up because you used to be the gold standard of theme parks, and when you fall from a standard that you set, there's a problem. It's like I liken it like this, and I got a lamp dance. I see it. It's like, think about it like this. There's a favorite dish that your grandmother made for years. And let's just say that particular dish is the gold standard, And what if one year she decided to just make it the worst way possible because maybe y'all pissed her off or something like that? I don't know. I don't know. And then you eat it and it's just like, this is awful. And maybe you don't want to say it's awful.
Yes,
but it's not her standard. It's not the standard you're used to.
It's a very dicey situation. So in that case, you would have to flip it, reverse it, rewind it back on yourself. Like, Grandma, now I love you, but would you accept this from me out of anything I've done in my life? Or would you want your grandson to be better? See, that's how you flip it. Because you're not telling Grandma off. You're using yourself as the conduit to say what you really want to say. You know what I mean?
Right. It's like, what can I do to help you? Could you not make it to the store? Next time you need something, just call me.
That was on the Millennium Falcon, right? The Smugglers Run Millennium Falcon.
Yes, that was on this is the Millennium Falcon. Yeah, the one that's outside. Yeah.
You know what that looks like? It looks like Charlie Brown decorated the Millennium Falcon for Life Day.
Oh, did somebody put a red Christmas ornament on it? Put a blanket.
Well, now, listen. Now we have another explanation. Maybe Charlie Brown moved away from Cedar Fair to plant a tree in Star Wars because he also watches Star Wars. So many different explanations, ladies and gentlemen.
There's a lot.
That is, what, Going Shogi, that's true, and I'll put another spin on it. Okay, so everybody knows in New Orleans, the best food is usually in the hole-in-the-wall places.
Yes.
And I've seen, like we'll say, for example, Meemaw Thibodeau Landry makes her gumbo. But there's some days the gumbo ingredients are not as good as she would like them to be. And then some days she gets the quality of the gumbo that's on point. So she's not going to charge you the same amount of money for her, like everything's on point gumbo. If the gumbo ingredients aren't that great, she'll lower the price. Disney doesn't even have that kind of respect to do that.
No, they definitely do not.
It's different if they're just like, well, why is the gumbo expensive today? Oh, well, we had extra this and grade A crab and all that. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, that is worth how much it is. Or if it's just like, you know what? Those crabs were so darn tiny, I decided not to use them. So it's just, sausage and chicken gumbo, buy one, get one free today. But they don't do that. They don't do that. Yes, the best places to do is a hole in the wall. It's so true. It's so true. It really is. It really is. And they even raise the price for the it is. Now it's very rare where you'll see me buy something. Like I am so disappointed in the gingerbread shingles at the Grand Floridian. I'm like, and you're charging $14 for
Did
that.
you did you try that? Did you eat
Yeah.
one this year?
Yes.
Okay, because I wanted to do a thing where I compare that to the shingle, which I think is almost half the price at the Beach Club. The Beach Club ones look really, really
The
good.
Beach Club ones I had, and I bought one of those on stream. They taste way better. They're
Okay.
smaller, but they taste better, and they actually have this distinctive bite of gingerbread. It's like they got
Well,
the
I
spice
talked.
mix right.
I actually talked to the chef who helped create the recipe. He was out there when I was there not too long ago, and it was one of my streams. Anyway, he was talking about, I can't remember which ingredient he put in. Go and Shogi might remember, but there's a specific ingredient that he put into his gingerbread. I say Go and Shogi might remember because Go and Shogi said he was going to make a note of it and put it in his gingerbread, and
Mhm.
and it was supposedly going to make that a lot better. So I'm very, very interested in trying that. And this monstrosity is something I hope to be able to see with my own eyes tomorrow.
Yeah, I can tell you that the gingerbread shingle from the Beach Club, I thoroughly enjoyed. I really did enjoy that. It tasted great.
Rye
It
flour,
tastes
he put it.
distinctive. Oh, right. Okay. Because it's definitely different. The one at the Grand Floridian, it was like the taste missed my mouth. Just like give you cardboard dipped in chocolate. That is literally what it tasted like. With the one from the Beach Club, it was like, oh, this is different. And it's good and it's worth it. You know, even the presentation is gorgeous. Whatever
Oh,
that layer of chocolate that's patterned that they put on the top. I was not happy when it was gone because I wanted more,
no.
which is unlike that darn shingle at the Grand Floridian. Like I said, if you go to the Grand Floridian gingerbread house, just get the gingerbread loaf for $5 and the peppermint bark.
I got a
That's
little
actually
loaf
worth it.
from the Contemporary. It was like an apple spice type thing at the gingerbread setup that they have there, and it was pretty good too. It was like I think
Okay.
$5.50 or something. Wasn't very much, but it was good. It was really good.
I haven't tried it yet because every time I go, either the frozen hot chocolate machine is broken or I got there too late and they were shutting it down.
Not
So,
not not McDonald's at Walt Disney World. Oh my.
There is a
mm,
McDonald's at Walt Disney World.
No, I meant the
yeah.
Brooklyn.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
no, this was at the Contemporary.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
okay.
Yeah, like it wasn't ready. Something had happened with the machines. You know how when you go to get an icy and sometimes the machine isn't quite working, so the icy isn't like super super cold thick yet. Yeah, that's kind of what that was. So I'm
Gotcha.
looking forward to going back and go back and trying this. But yes, this is the Communicore Hall. Uh, I have
Still,
no words.
I
I'm
mean, it
still
looks.
insulted by the name. The idea of naming it Communicore Hall was to pay homage to the original Communicore name. Instead, what they did was they insulted the original Communicore name by calling this that. This should have been called I don't know, Monsters Inc. Mess Hall, something. I don't know, something from one of the schools that is in Disney lore. This should have been their offshoot. This is the cafeteria after the
Oh,
good cafeteria. I mean, it's horrible. It's
you know this is reminding me of. This is reminding me of, for those of you who don't know, Disney's doing these living communities, Golden Oak Resort. This looks like a concept for a mall brand for Disney, and this is like the main hallway for Dis Mall if they were
Mhm.
going to make this a franchise across the country, because you
I,
got all the different shops or different lounges there. But that's what it looks like. It looks like a Disney Mall concept.
it's far worse than any mall that I've ever been to. So, and this thing, it's so blank. It's so
It's so boring, and when you walk in, especially given what it used to look like
oh
back
my
in the
god.
day with the cool carpet and the colors, and it just looks so inviting, like, hey, I need to get away from people. Let's
Well,
go over here.
the worst part
It's
of this
great
is that
space.
it replaced a space that already existed in basically the same footprint, takes up the same area. It's like, it's so weird because it was supposed to be a festival center, but this indoor space is not quite big enough to truly be a festival center. So,
Yes.
and I still say there
Wait,
is
wait,
actually a potential fix to this entire area, and that is to cover the grassy knoll outside, where they have the quote unquote Beyonce stage. If
Mm-hmm.
let's say that they did a glass roof enclosure over that large space, and then air conditioned it, it would be a massive size festival center that you could actually do festival things with. Like, do you remember, Lorena, when they used to actually have chefs coming out and doing demonstrations at the
Oh,
Wonders of Life building and all that kind of stuff? They used
yes.
to have all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of things. They used to use Wonders of Life as a festival center, and then they moved it to the World Showplace for a while, and now they've got this, and it's like the Odyssey is not quite a festival center because that's not big enough, and now this space is also not quite big enough. And then you've got this grassy knoll outside that could potentially hold up to like 500 people. I want to say you get a big crowd out there, but
Yeah.
you put it outdoors and you've got nothing out there there's no seating. It's hot. You put shows out
They
there
got
that are
some
worthless.
pop-up umbrellas that don't do a damn thing.
They don't know. They don't do anything. And if that space were enclosed, it would make this whole area a very large festival center. And I know it wouldn't have the really cool 3-tiered thing that we were supposed to get, but it would still be a heck of a lot better than this. And you could put a lot more decor on the inside. You could put the piano player back. You could have your entertainment on the indoors instead of outdoors, where nobody wants to gather in 100-degree heat. It could be better. And they don't really have to change anything to fix it. They just have to improve what's there.
They just need to fix the space. You hire interior decorators who know how to transform a space. Like, think about the space at the Red Coconut Club, okay? How they change that depending on what seasons, what's going on at the park. You get the right talented people in here. You get the event planner from the Four Seasons, or any Hilton. They will completely transform this space so it doesn't look like a concourse at the airport or something like that, where it looks like, I can't believe this space here.
Yeah,
Because this just looks sad. Look at this, like, little ball in the middle, and there's nothing going on, and just dudes look like I'd rather be somewhere else.
I do have to say it is quite sad because when I look at for example, Extreme Mega Home Edition, with Ty Pantaz coming back on January 2nd on ABC, I think they really give their all. Like, they literally sit down with the families, figure out what they like, what they don't like. And to me, honestly, too, if you really want to involve the fans, be like, hey, you know what? We had this Communicore Hall space and we were going to do this, that, and third, but we're missing one thing. It's you. Communication is about communicating with people. We're going to throw, and I remember Ridley Pearson did this for the Kingdom Keepers. For the final book, he will allow kids to write certain parts of the book, and then kids will vote on it. So take some concepts, put it out to the people, and make Communicore Hall based on the votes of the people. I know that's using common sense, but at least, if the people vote for something that doesn't look good, you can say, hey, we gave y'all options. You know what I mean? But was that supposed to be Figment?
Yeah, this is
So
what
what are you looking at here, Ron?
this is the concept art for the exact same space that you were just looking at. So from the concept art of what it was supposed to be to what we are actually getting, you can see the difference. But if you look at it, it is very much the same space. It's just like what you said, Lorena. They get a few interior decorators in there, and you put some things in that actually make it look cool.
Yes.
So this is what it will maybe, hopefully, kind of look like during Festival of the Arts, because that's what this image looks like it would be. This looks like a Festival of the Arts display. But like where Figment is right now, that's where they have the Epcot gingerbread Spaceship Earth. And the art makes it look kind of cool, but the way it's lit right now and everything in real life, it just, I don't know. It definitely did not come out matching this concept art.
Dylan says, I'll take the concept art over the airport.
Well, you know, and here's the funny thing. I was at Nemours Children's Hospital last week, and Nemours Children's Hospital is so much better themed than this Communicore Hall. It's ridiculous. And I was looking at it going, how am I at a children's hospital that has better theming than a Disney park? That's wild.
It really is. It's so disappointing, especially considering how much you pay to go to these parks. And the last thing I'm going to show you guys before we start talking about holiday Q&A. From Blog Mickey, Epcot World Celebration in-ground lighting reactivated but struggles to continue. I don't know how long this is gonna last. So it looks like they've got some of it, I'll say strategically placed to light up, but I'm wondering how long this is gonna last. So coming from Blog Mickey, following up on our report that Disney appeared close to reactivating the in-ground lighting in World Celebration Gardens, Disney has indeed done that. While visiting Epcot tonight, yes, that's from last night, the 29th, we noticed the lighting was reactivated after being turned off completely during recent visits this fall. No, it was not turned off completely because there were little points of light like, hey, I'm still here. So they didn't turn it off.
Just wasn't working.
It just wasn't working.
Right.
Which is, there's actually
right.
some similar issues up front with the up front fountain has had those blinking issues too, with some segments of their lighting up there and segments of lighting back here. And this, oddly enough, is without even, it doesn't even have a fountain where it was supposed to have a fountain right there.
I wonder if they cleaned the mold, because there used to be mold hanging out there too. It was pretty, yes. These strips and I took pictures, there was like black mold in there. Have never seen that when you had the fiber optic lights in the concrete, because that was, sealed off to make it waterproof. Yeah. These lights were never working. So I don't know how long these are going to be working. I'm going to be at Epcot Monday night. So, the game we like to play when we leave the park, let's go see if there's any lights that are working there.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know how long that's gonna last. If they don't damage it with pressure cleaning, how are they going to clean it? And is it going to be effective? Because if the mold comes back, because black mold is hard to kill, you have to stay on it. I don't know. But this is something that never should have happened in the first place.
Well, there's another problem with this lighting is that this lighting actually only looks really, really cool from a place that nobody can get to. You can't be a drone and float up and look down on it. And it does. It looks better from above, but that's not where the guests are.
Right.
No, they're not. And this is one big outdoor Starbucks. I kid you not. That's exactly not covered.
From what it looks like, I get the whole Communicore because that was a logo back in the day, but they got how you have light up shoes from Skechers. It would have been cool if they could have made the bricks also colored, where when you step on it, it also changes the colors of Spaceship Earth. Once again, not Imagineer, okay? I know I'm not that intelligent with engineering. Creative, yes. Engineering, no. But still, I feel like that would have been a little bit better.
That would have been cool, and that would have been that would have been really cool. And then I think, like, as an engineer, I'm just like, okay, so what's your operations and maintenance going to be on that? Is it going to be able to handle how many psi per square inch being walked on repeatedly? And I don't think that the Imagineers took that into account, or if they did and they were vetoed, because I've seen that happen too, where if you're an engineer, you say, look, you can do this, but it's not gonna last. But we're gonna do it.
Well, I mean, the Imagineers that work on this, I know they come over, they fly over, they come to Florida, but like, I feel like the higher ups, the ones making the decisions about all of these things, they don't live here in Florida. They live in Burbank, California, and they at least for all this new stuff, they seem to have not really taken the weather into consideration a whole lot when it comes to what they put into Disney World the last few years. And Florida weather is so different than California weather, and our outdoors atmospheric conditions, it's just different here. And it's just like that outdoor space in front of the Communicore Plaza. Like, did nobody take into consideration that people don't want to stand outside in 100-degree heat for the majority of the year to watch a show where people are singing along with the music from Encanto and not actually even singing it? It's just playing from a video, and then maybe they'll bring a couple characters out at the end to dance with the crowd. I mean, it's so weird. That whole show, the Encanto show that I was looking forward to, because I was hoping it was something very different than what it ended up being. I'm like, this is at best Six Flags level, and I've been in Six Flags shows, so I should know. It was definitely not Disney level of entertainment by any means. And that's not to diss the performers. They were doing they put out their best. They did all that stuff. It's just it wasn't the show itself. The production of the show just was not what it should have been.
No,
I think honestly too, with Epcot, was supposed to be originally supposed to be an experimental prototype community. Tomorrow World was actually a living, breathing, creation and everything in between. But then they decided to do this modern, World's Fair. And I know they have the Festival of Arts. I know they have the, Food and Wine Festival. But I think an Epcot Communicore Festival would be cool to bring in HP and Asus and different technology entrepreneurs. I mean, it could kind of be like a CES, but it could be for everybody else. I mean, for goodness sakes, I mean, even the Disney Park Christmas Day Parade used to be live on ABC. Y'all can't do a, arts and crafts type of thing with Hobby Lobby for a weekend.
Oh, they definitely wouldn't use Hobby Lobby. Those very different ideology on the company.
Yes, but just saying, in theory, with so many arts and crafts people, you would think a arts and crafts weekend during Christmas, or leading up to Christmas would make sense, because they did Star Wars and ESPN and the ABC soap opera weekends. Like it, maybe I'm being too nostalgic and commonsensical. I don't know.
It's funny, Braylon, that you should mention that about arts and crafts, because I set up a pickup order for Michael's Arts and Crafts. Mm-hmm. And why is it after I submitted my order, they tried to get me to get Disney Plus for $3.99 a month?
And there's the partnership for the weekend. You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome.
Yes.
I thought it was funny that I went to Cracker Barrel for Thanksgiving, and they have a whole section of Bluey at Cracker Barrel, because people can't get Bluey in the parks, and everybody's saying, where can I buy Bluey stuff in the parks? Because it's on Disney Plus, a huge part of Disney Plus. There's no Bluey at Disney World, but if you go across the street to Cracker Barrel, you can find a whole Bluey section there. So if you're on a Disney vacation and you want Bluey, go out of Disney World, go to Cracker Barrel. It's on 192. There's a whole Bluey section.
Go to Cracker Barrel, or go to the Walmart, either the one right near Universal or the one on 192 right near Disney, and they have all your Blu-ray and theme park merchandise. How the heck they only got the rights to broadcast the show and not to bring that into the park?
Yeah.
Total freaking miss. Total freaking miss.
You would
Go
think
and
these
show me.
merchandising experts, yes, for sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're just saying. We're not saying. We're just saying. Go and Chogi, thank you for that $4.99 super chat. Says every wall should have a Mary Blair mosaic for the different countries in World Showcase at minimum. This is the library common room. Man, if they had a Mary Blair mosaic for every country in World Showcase,
And I think I know which one you're talking about, though, Shogi. In the contemporary, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was a Mary Blair one.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, Grand Canyon Concourse. Yes,
so cool.
It is. It's gorgeous.
Actually, I mean, it's so themed to the contemporary that their style of gingerbread decor, house, whatever. It's like
their house. It's very
it's
Mary
in
Blair
that
style.
Mary Blair style, where it's like 2D layers and 3D, and so it's the most different gingerbread thing that you'll see at Disney. Although I love the Beach Club and the carousel and the wilderness.
Carousel is. Yeah, that is on point, and it's different. It's like it's 2D. It fits in very much with the contemporary, including the 5-legged goat, which I like to try and spot. At the gingerbread house. And 49 cents is high gang from a current CF at WDW. And you know what? I'm glad you brought this up, because I always re-emphasize people. I love the cast members at Walt Disney World.
Yes, you do.
Please do not conflate Disney corporate sitting in Burbank, not having a freaking clue, and the cast members at Walt Disney World, because the cast members, God bless them, if it wasn't for them correcting a lot of the crap that Burbank messed up, it would be an absolute mess. So I love the cast members. Shout out the 2 cast members from my last live stream. One, when I was on the People Mover, they put me in one of the front cars. So I had like an unobstructed view going through. So that one. And when I was walking through, I guess on the way to the aerial attraction, cast member gave me a free bag of cotton candy. So thank you. So thank you.
Did you decide if you were going to use that as hair on the gingerbread?
Which one?
Did you decide if you were going to use the cotton candy as hair on the gingerbread? Because I thought that was said in the chat.
I did, but that didn't land.
Okay.
That cotton candy was gone. I think I'm gonna have to find a different medium, because that ain't gonna last. I cotton candy doesn't last. I'll eat that sucker. I will so eat that sucker. Glad you think that it was fun, and a great question to kick off talking about theme parks for the holidays. And I am actually glad Brogu brought this question up. Said, I thought about taking a trip to Disney, and my wife and I thought about staying at the Grand Floridian. Is it worth it? Worth it if you get a discount. But I know, honestly, when it comes to, I don't think that it is for what they charge. That's the thing. The monorail resorts, and especially the Grand Floridian, for how much they charge, it's not worth it. If you want that level of service, I suggest the Wilderness Lodge, which is literally a boat ride away. The theming is gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Everything is inside the building. At the Grand Floridian, you're going to have to do some running around from your particular key building to the main building. So I always say that the Wilderness Lodge and the Animal Kingdom Lodge are great places to stay location-wise for bang for your buck. If you're talking about Magic Kingdom, definitely the Wilderness Lodge. If that is not within your price range, Port Orleans Resort is good too. You have a boat that goes from Port Orleans to Disney Springs and back, so you have access to all of those restaurants. And if you're talking about value, um, I love Art of Animation and Pop Century. They're right there together, and you've got Skyliner access. So when people say worth it, it's if you really, really need to be at the Grand Floridian and you're just like, that's the only one I want, scour for deals.
Oh, what's wrong with paying $1,700 a night for a room that you're only going to spend sleep time in?
It is nuts. And for the holidays, if you're staying at the Grand Floridian, I'll tell you one thing: you're not going to be able to go through the lobby at all. I made that mistake where I booked a trip. I got it bumped up in class, in room class, and then I figured out why they did it. I could not just go to the lobby of the Grand Floridian and just chill and listen to the piano player and hang out with the big huge tree and smell the gingerbread house. No, because everyone wants to go to the Grand Floridian and take
Or
pictures.
just sit back and listen to the big blend. Oh wait, no, we can't.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh,
yeah, no band anymore.
God.
No band anymore. No
I
big
will.
band anymore.
I will say this. Back in the day, Disney was more about the experience of the parks, and now it's about the monetization of the parks, the war of art and commerce. And what I usually see
Mhm.
Reina Creole do is that she will just go to the different resorts. So if you stay at any one of those resorts, you're still getting the experience, and not to mention too, you can still have more money to do other things,
Yeah,
honestly. So I would just go just to that resort that's more feasible, and then you just have the Grand Floridian for your whole vacation.
Yeah,
we
'cause you can
my
always crash a resort, man.
we spent my wife's 50th birthday at the Wilderness Lodge, and it was great. So we were at the Copper Creek part of it, and was actually, I think it was a DVC unit, but it was like a 1 bedroom, so it was pretty good sized unit, and you could see at least the tops of the fireworks from our room. We had the nightly show that came by the lake, the 53-year-old show. Um,
Yeah, the water parade.
yeah, the electric water parade,
Yeah,
and we had a
yeah.
room overlooking the pool, and we were on the 6th floor, so it was amazing. I will say this: if I ever become a multimillionaire, I will definitely stay at the DVC, the first DVC building at the Grand Floridian, in one of their grand villas. If I can get the one on the 6th floor, that would be the prime place to stay at Disney World. It's things like $5, $6, $7,000 a night. I'm not sure how much. It's a lot if you pay for it by the night, but it's over 3,000 square feet, and it's like having your own little private mansion at Disney, and your balcony goes all the way across. Like I don't know how long that thing is, like 100 feet long, and you
Mhm.
can go out there and watch the fireworks over the castle from your own private balcony, and it's like that would be lap of luxury type of stuff. I used to work there. I worked for DVC. I was a cast member, and every time I got a chance to work at that building so I could show the 3-bedroom grand villa, I would do it. I'd be like, yes, because now I've got a key to the room. It was awesome.
Yeah, they
Yes.
do. They do have the good neighbor hotels. Yes, absolutely. The ones on, I will be specific, the ones on Hotel Plaza Boulevard. And the reason why is because of their proximity. They're right there on Disney property. Hotel Plaza Boulevard, Bonnet Creek. So there's also the Bonnet Creek resorts as well. But if you completely want Disney theming and not being overcharged for that theming, Animal Kingdom Lodge, Wilderness Lodge, Port Orleans Resort, and the Pop Century / Art of Animation resorts. It is insane how themed Art of Animation is. The only problem with Art of Animation
Yes.
is lots of folks want to stay there, especially if you have the money to stay at like the Grand Floridian or the Polynesian, and you're just like, No, they're not worth it. So we all wind up crashing the Pop Century. So for real, you'll go to
I
the Pop
sent
Century and you'll
I
see a
sent a
bunch of
link in the
luxury cars parked there because they're staying there.
Also, the fuel part of it.
no, I sent a link in the back chat. I don't know if people know about this brand, but it's almost like an Airbnb Verbo, but it's called Vitel. So it's like a villa slash hotel, and it looks really. They have some very nice
Let me
accommodations.
show Villatel. I want to say they are almost like there's another one and it's near Claremont. And they're almost kind of like the same thing. Yeah, I get exactly what you're talking about. And these are really really great, the great alternatives. Um, the only thing that I would say when you consider one of these is to consider how much transportation that you're doing and the time
Correct.
from commuting from there to the park, because that is something to consider. If you are, if you are cool with it, it's great. You will save a lot of money, definitely. So these are all great alternatives. That's why we like to give you guys all of the information,
Hmm.
and you make your decision. Because if the worst thing that you can do is call Disney to book a trip, because they're going to upsell the hell out of you for that.
Yes.
So when you go and do your own independent research and see things, you can compare, the
Hmm.
prices on your own. Also, my favorite site, which is mouthsavers.net. I've used them
Yes.
for years.
Legendary.
They give you tons of information and discounts, especially mouthsavers.com. I said .net, especially this time of year. There's discounts, discounts, discounts. And Rambam 3000 said, what did he say about discounts? Disney does discounts. Yes, they do. This is the open secret. Disney always does discounts. If bookings are soft, and like say, and there's one going on now that I think there's a discount up to and including, I think, Christmas Eve. When there aren't enough bookings, they'll drop discounts. Like if you stay so and so, whatever, you can get this much off of your room, 30% off of your room, 25% off of your room. There's a bounce back special going on right now, quote unquote bounce back. What that is if you are staying at a Disney resort, there'll be a little card in your room to entice you to book the next stay while you are already on property. So you have to book that, I think, by 11:59 p.m. on the day that you check out of your hotel. So they entice you that way to come back. And it's not in every hotel room. It's not. Certain resorts will have it. Some of them won't have the offer in the room for you to call. But they do that all the time. All the time. If Disney can't fill their rooms, they start dropping coupons. My travel agent that I had before she retired, because Disney shenanigans, she had it. And she went to like the Disney travel agent university and everything. She was like my right arm. Used her for the longest time. When she quit, I cried because she knew me, and she would know, the travel agents would know the discounts before anybody else would. She would say,
Yes,
"Hey,
that's very
they
true.
came out with this discount. I got it applied for you. I'm getting it for for all my clients, and you're good." So they do that. They will drop out discounts. They are not very obvious about it, but they are out there. So I'd say your best intel, so you don't lose a lot of money, is to take the time to go out, independent sites like Mouse Savers,
Yes.
channels like Braylon, like Ron's, like mine. You can go out and get this information. And this information has always been out there. It used to
Yes, it has.
be in a book called The Unofficial Guide.
Yes. Yes. And then I'm trying to think, it was FODDERS. I think they did travel guides for a long time, because this is showing my age a little bit. I would go to Barnes and Nobles and I will always get the Walt Disney World for kids book. Always.
Yeah, the photos guide. Yeah.
Yes.
I used to get the photos guide, and I would have post-it notes and all, you know, and all of this stuff in there. And it sounds crazy, but I saved a lot of money and a lot of time. Disney will capitalize, especially during the holidays. Especially, you'll see the advertisements and everything, and they get you, you know, all in the fields to, you know, to go and book. But you really do have to know what you're getting into and how much things cost and what's, you know, and what's going on. So a lot of these independent sites out here have done research and get the information for you. Aldo says that's true. Sometimes you may save on transportation, on property, but honestly, it's still worth it money wise, from what I gather, to stay across from property. Yeah, that proximity, but also parking. That's the other thing for Disney. They will, oh my gosh, I think it's like what, 30? I think it's close to $30 a day to like park.
It's $35 a day.
Oh, dang. Yeah, that's how they get you. I mean, Universal does get you too with the parking. They will.
Parking is bad at all the parks now. It's all over $35. I think it's even more at SeaWorld and Universal. It's if you're not a pass holder, you pay to park. I mean, it's a good thing they include that. As a matter of fact, I would say, because I have the Pixie Pass, which means I pay less per month for my annual pass to Disney than it is to park one time at any of the parks. So yeah, I pay like $22 a month for my annual pass. It's $35 for one time to park. So just in parking by itself, before I even go to the park, my annual pass pays for itself. So it's a very, very good deal for that.
And also too, on the hotels as well, one of the biggest things is character dining. Now you gotta do your independent research on that, but I do believe the Hilton at Lake Buena Vista, it looks like Butterfly Wings. They have character dining. So if you stay at a hotel, and your kids are, you know, crying about Disney characters because, you know, you didn't get up at 2:00 in the morning to get your specialty reservations for the Disney dining plan, you can stay at a Hilton, or you can stay at a hotel that the Disney characters, the actual characters, will come to the hotel.
I mean, you can dine at any of the restaurants that have the characters. And honestly, I think if it's not a busy season, restaurants like Cape May are easy to get into without a reservation, just like walk up.
Yes, Cape May Cafe.
That's one. Also, the it's not called the Good Turn anymore. The one at Epcot, the circular at the land.
Oh, the Garden Grill. Grill.
My head had the old name because it used to be called the Good Turn long time ago. Anyway, the Garden Grill. Often you can just walk up and get a seat at that. A lot of people don't realize this. One of the reasons restaurant reservations go so fast at Disney is they will always cut out, I think it's like a 10% bank of the tables that they will not allow for reservations, so that they can have walk-ups, or they can meet people's demands. Somebody makes a reservation for 6, but they got a party at 10, so and so. Having worked in the restaurants at Disney, I can tell you, I can confirm that's an absolute truth, that there are always, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to find a table available, because if they're super busy, you won't. But they try to maintain a block of tables that's not, that's not being reserved. They also, of course, will staff accordingly. So if you have a restaurant that, might be staffed down and only has 12 out of its 16 sections open, that's going to happen too. But you might find a table that way.
Yeah, that's true. With the walk up lists, unless your beach is in cream, and I can tell you right now, getting a walk up for that one, it's not going to happen.
It's too small of a restaurant. It's not
Exactly.
even after
It's too small.
even after they expanded it, it's still pretty small.
It's
But
still small, but it's one of those things where it's small, but the demand is large for it. So
oh yeah,
that's just the thing. That is one of the few remaining restaurants where the theming is just insane, and the demand is really high, especially during during the holidays. Because one of the other things to do for the holidays when you're if you can't go to the parks, you can always get a dining reservation at one of the hotels. Um, Although, if people are Disney resort guests, they've got to jump on you with getting the
Right.
reservations. I think it's a 90, is it 90-day window? I think it's
if
90-day
if
window.
I
I
will
thought
tell
it was
people
90 to 60.
the secret to
Yeah.
getting a reservation that you did not get 60 days out is get it the day of or the night before, because that's when people cancel. So many people, a lot of people don't know this.
Hmm.
People make 2 or 3 dining reservations for the same time to make sure that they get the restaurant that they want. And then they realize, oh my gosh, I've got 3 reservations at the same time. And so they have to cancel. And you have to cancel a certain amount of time beforehand
Right.
in order to get your money back or not get charged for it, right? So either I will tell you, when I got Topolino Terrace, right? Topolino Terrace is extremely hard reservation to get for
Yes.
breakfast. Um, so going into my wife's 50th birthday, remember I told you I still stayed at the Wilderness Lodge? There were 2 things that I wanted to do for her, and that was Artist Point, the Snow White dining with Snow White. I got that
Mm-hmm.
reservation literally 2 days before we checked in. And Topolino Terrace, I literally got at midnight the night before. I was like, you know what?
Oh,
I'm just
wow.
going to go in and check. And sure enough, there was an 11:30 a.m. reservation for the next morning that dropped at midnight. And I picked it up and I was like, this is awesome. So for that day, for that whole birthday experience for my wife, I was able to do exactly for her the restaurants that I wanted to, and it worked out really, really well. Obviously, there are no guarantees. Can't guarantee
Sure.
any of this, but for the suggestion, if for whatever reason you don't get the dining reservation that you want, for example, Cinderella's Castle, just
Mm-hmm.
check the night before or check at 7 a.m. the morning of, and you're much more likely to have the opportunity to get that.
Agreed. Because I will say I am. How do I put this? So I have a reservation for Christmas Eve over at the Whispering Canyon Cafe for myself and my extended family. So there's 7 of us, and it's at a time that is much later than I would like. So I keep stalking the system just to see if we can get an earlier reservation. I don't think that's going to happen, considering how popular that
There's
restaurant is. It's not just for the restaurant, but for the resort, how it's decorated for
so
Christmas.
Gotcha.
another thing you can do, Lorena, is at 4 is it a dining, is it dinner, like dinner
Yes.
time? Okay.
Hmm.
If you can, at 4 p.m., go up to the host stand and find out if there's any availabilities during that night for an early reservation. You're very, very likely to be able to get one.
I
uh,
don't think I could get the darn family out the house.
yeah, I was going to say you may
The
not,
problem.
you may not be able to do that, but that's another thing that I've done in the past.
Call me a little evil, but if you have
I
some
know, bro.
relatives
Are you
and
doing
you
like a
know who they are,
yeah?
where they would be late for a free lunch, and for some reason think that whatever time that you told them means like 30 minutes to an hour than when it's
After
supposed to be. Yeah, I have fudged reservation times. Like, what time do we need to be there? Because case in point, I had a reservation for Ohana Christmas Eve for
Mm-hmm.
like 8 of us, whole herd going in there. I'm like, look, I have this timed perfectly so that we get a table
Mm-hmm.
right in time to, where you can see the fireworks and all that stuff,
Yes.
but that's at a certain time. And I'm like, if y'all don't make it, okay. All right, so we need to
Just
be there by I think like 7:30. I think I told them the reservation was at 6:30, and do you know they didn't show up until 7 o'clock?
there you go. Just to check my theory, I literally just now checked. I just checked the My Disney Experience app, and if I
Yeah.
wanted to right now, I could pick up a 5 o'clock reservation at Narcoossee's for tonight.
Ooh,
Well,
And
there it is.
nice.
that is not an easy reservation to get if you know anything about Disney. Narcoossee's
No,
is right on the
it is
water,
not.
and if you stay there long enough, you can see fireworks and stuff. So yeah.
When I stayed at the Grand Floridian, I actually happened to both stays. We were in the same building. Conch Key, that
Mm.
building. The reason why I love that building is it's right next to the boat dock and right next to Narcoossee's. It's the perfect perfect location because whenever I would stay at the Polynesian or the Grand Floridian, I always wanted the building that was closest to the boat dock because you get tired of people at the monorail full of humanity, and it's just like, forget it, we're just getting on the boat, which I wind up doing that a lot on our streams too. It's like, we're getting on the boat, we're getting on the boat, there's too many people,
Yes.
we're getting on the darn boat. But it's a different experience, and plus a great place to watch fireworks too.
And just to check, Citrico's has 8:30, 8:50, and 9 o'clock tonight. Those are both very, very popular Grand Floridian high dollar restaurants, which obviously that means Grand Floridian Cafe would be very easy to get in today. I
Yes.
always check. By the way, if anybody out there loves fried chicken, the best fried chicken on property is Old Key West. If you haven't been to Olivia's at Old Key West, oh my gosh,
Olivia's, I've heard about that.
buttermilk fried chicken that they marinate in buttermilk 24 hours overnight. It's, oh my gosh, it's so good.
Is it better than Publix fried chicken?
That I don't know, or I can't compare it. Just apparently, Chef Art Smith's Homecoming also has really good fried chicken.
Yes, they do. I've had it.
Springs, yes.
I've had it. Chef Arts. I went there. Chef Arts Florida Homecoming Kitchen. I ate there, and I swear it tasted like my grandma's food. It was so good. I was almost like, is my grandma in the kitchen? My auntie in the kitchen? I mean, we're talking like mashed potatoes where you can see the butter, in it, and just and the fried chicken. Oh my God, it's so delicious. Yeah, it is. Chef, pretty much every restaurant except for Jaleo's, because screw Jaleo's, I can't stand that restaurant. It's not that great. Are good.
I don't like the chef.
Yeah, I don't like the chef either. The chef or the food. Y'all are a disgrace to Spanish cuisine. I'm for real. Pretty much all the restaurants at Disney Springs are very delicious, very worth the money. And if you go to Morimoto's, they have a section called street food where you can walk up and order food. That Korean hot dog is a life. I mean, the food there is great, especially during the holidays when they'll have like extra menu items, holiday themed, Christmas themed menu items. Go there. Plus, Sunshine Churros. Okay, the churros inside of the Magic Kingdom are ass. I'm sorry, but they are. They're dry. They're nasty. They're not that great. Go to Sunshine Churros in Disney Springs. They have 2 locations. I think one that's near Disney Style, and another one that's on the other side. They have, oh my gosh, their key lime. All their churros are good, but they'll have special flavors. That key lime churro, it's so good.
That definitely sounds like a vibe for sure.
Oh yeah, they have key lime, they have like Oreo. They will have like a standard menu of their specialty churros, and then they'll have like 1 or 2 that are themed. They're fresh. I don't know what they do to them, but they taste really, really good. They taste like the churros that you would get at Disneyland. So I don't know who's doing it.
They have bacon churros because I put bacon on it.
Oh my lord!
I wouldn't put it past him. Hey, Abu Nas, good luck at Walmart, man. You know them people crazy this weekend. Good seeing you, my dear. And Native Hawaiian is here.
Aloha.
And happy Saturday, all. Welcome, all you folks. I see you there over on Braylon's channel, over there on Ron's channel. Thank you guys so very much. So very much. Brogu says, love that chicken from Olivia's at Old Key West. I'm gonna have to roll over there and check it out. That's like the beignets in Disneyland. The ones in the park are trash, but the ones in downtown Disney are great. I wonder who that vendor is, because it is insane. It's like the churros in the park are crap, but the churros at Disney Springs are absolutely delicious. Probably because they're what I call artisan churros, like they're small batch and they have a better quality control. I refuse to try those beignets. I've seen pictures of them. They look like rocks.
The beignets at Port Orleans are better than anything that they've tried to serve in the park.
This is true, because I've had them at Port Orleans. They were delicious. That's why I like Port Orleans Resort. The food there. That's all I'm gonna say.
And not to mention too, the thing that I really do love about Disney World is they really do allow the hotels to have an identity. So when Princess and the Frog came out and they did that overlay over there, I'm like, that makes total sense. By the way, Gogi Shogi, there is a business called the Beignet Box, and that is owned by Christina Milian, because her family is from New Orleans. So she has a whole business out there called Beignet Box. And I think it should be a national brand. And I should be the social media director of that. Now, that, of course, means I will have to eat beignets with Christina Milian, but she is married, so that takes an L for me there. But I get to eat beignets and get paid, so there's a W there for me.
Christina Milian, she's from New Orleans. I got to do some research. If I wind up related to her like I am to Beyonce as distant cousins, that's gonna be too darn funny. That's gonna be too funny. But yeah, this is I haven't had beignets in years. I got a chicken trip to Cafe du Monde in New Orleans. Yeah, see here's the thing. I'm gonna rant about those Disney Imagineers. If they took one true trip to Cafe du Monde and actually sat there, there's a reason we call it Cafe Do Nothing in New Orleans. All right, you go there and all you do is eat beignets, drink hickory roasted coffee, and people watch. That is what you do at Cafe du Monde, or aka Cafe Do Nothing. You buy the hickory roasted coffee. Why they do not have hickory roasted coffee in the Magic Kingdom, especially since they have Tiana's Broccoli Adventure, is beyond me. I don't know why they haven't done it, but that's what they should have brought over and put in that shop instead of gumbo seasoning, which everyone in their right mind knows there is no such thing as gumbo seasoning at all. At all.
And I will say this about Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I was proud of it for the fact of they did that, you know what I mean? Because I do believe that Tiana is very culturally significant, not just for Black culture, but for the fact that you did get to see hard work in a Disney movie. Because usually everything is sunshine, rainbows, and pixie dust.
Right.
But I also do believe that if Disney really is about imagination, there is plenty of land. And I do believe that Princess Tiana is bigger than everything.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm happy the attraction is there, because, you know, kids who never saw themselves to be of royalty can have that ride. And also adults, too. We want to feel like royalty, too. So I'm glad that the attraction is there. But I do understand why everybody believes that should be its own attraction. And for me, I had to really sit with it, because when I heard that you guys called it broccoli, this and that, I'm like, back in the day, we were strange fruit. And so now we're in 2 Disney parks, you know, on both coasts. So we made it a long way. But of course, when you're a theme park nerd, you are about the storytelling and the energy of how that translates to the audience. So I had to be with myself for a minute. But yes, I do believe
I'm
a big fan of Princess. Well, I love Princess and the Frog. I think it's a great property. The songs are phenomenal. It's the last hand-drawn
Yes,
animation property. And that's one of the things that I don't like about Tiana's Bayou Adventure is Tiana doesn't look right. Like Tiana, like they did a disservice to her. Her
Yeah.
animatronic doesn't look right. Her the one time she's animated in the ride, it's not even 2D hand-drawn animation. It
right.
looks weird. And I'm like, especially the way they're now wanting to do Cars and take out Rivers of America and all this. And I'm like, how perfect would it have been to use Rivers of America and the boat, which, by the way, you see one just like it in the movie, a steamboat, come up, and they could have transformed all of Tom Sawyer's Island into a New Orleans. Had the ride go around the island, and you pull up. You
Hmm.
actually, like, in my head, it's a slower, dark ride that actually makes you feel like you're on a bayou and not sliding down a mountain.
Right.
And it has more of the story of, like, the story is so convoluted. I'm in New Orleans and I can't find musicians. Are you kidding me? They're literally every street
Yeah.
corner. So that makes no sense. So, like,
Mhm.
I just wanted Tiana to have a much better ride experience. And in my head, you had the whole restaurant there, and you passed it, and you could smell the beignets, and you could smell
Yes.
the cooking from it. And so when you rode it and you went by the restaurant, you wanted to get off and immediately go to the restaurant to get some. And it's like the to give Tiana a retheme of a ride that was an attraction that people loved anyway is insulting to the character of Tiana,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And
Mhm.
I think that she deserved better. That's my whole thing. Is I just
Yeah.
wish,
And
like,
when I heard that perspective from it, then I was able to rest with it. And I think that that goes to the testament of when you can love a character that is bigger than just the culture. You love this character because you see the value of that character. You're a Tiana fan of me, so yeah.
Yeah, it's also other things like she should have gotten her own attraction, especially with how beloved that movie was, and with just how beautiful and gorgeous the artwork is. And speaking of artwork, you remember the concept artwork they gave us
oh yeah, with the
for
tree, that
Tiana's
concept.
Bayou Adventure? That's what I thought we were gonna get. And I think
Yeah.
a lot of the pushback, because we do call it, the reason why we call it Broccoli Mountain is because they literally took stuff from Tafiti over at Journey of Water. They literally
Mhm.
did this, and everything, including flowers that don't belong in New Orleans at all, and they put it there, and it just looks like this lump of just ugly nothing. And compared to the concept art that they had, that was just
Right.
beautiful, and it was vibrant. And you saw Mama Odie's boat, and thought we were going to get all this, and it's like we didn't get it, and it's so upsetting because that concept art was gorgeous, and we thought that that was exactly
Yeah.
what we were going to get. And I think that's what a lot of people are disappointed about. It's just, you tell us one thing and you execute it extremely poorly, because a lot of people, they love the character of Tiana and just don't like what they did. I'm sitting there, I'm just like, no, that's not New Orleans. No, that's not New
No,
Orleans. You could have did
and
this, you could have did that. And yeah, it's something else. And honestly, if Disney has any respect for the character of Tiana, they will go back and they will rework that ride.
they could be reworked and also just fixed so that it actually does work most of the time instead of being down as much as it is.
That's
'Cause that's
that's the
one thing.
thing. They have to fix that ride system. Why they did that, I don't know, but they need to fix the ride system. They need to fix the aesthetics. Um, they just need to do that. There's so much that they need to do, and I really think that they're going to wind up redoing that. But folks, as always, time flies on this show. We love jumping in the studio to just nerd out and talk theme park stuff and
Yes.
answer you guys questions, about the parks. There's zero agenda here. I do not run a travel agency. The open
I-
secret Keep seeing that brown eye. How long? So gonna keep seeing that. But yeah, the open secret is, you see a lot of bloggers that are out
Mhm.
and they are actually tied to travel agencies. So
Yes.
their incentive for the most part, and it is, especially if they're being honest, is to get you to buy into the quote unquote fantasy of the parts. Pixie dust is a hell of a drug and it's great, but you have to realize you can't snort that stuff. It's detrimental, to your health and definitely detrimental to your wallet. So there are definitely pockets of Disney magic that are still out there. And it's
Yes.
the best magic is to have a trip where you come from and you're not bankrupt when you get back home.
Yeah.
So, folks, I want to thank Braylon for dropping in on the show and dropping us some of his theme park
Thank you.
knowledge
Thank
and
you. Thank you.
perspective. It was awesome. Please
Thank.
tell the folks where they can find you and what you have got going on.
Well, thank you guys so much. I told Reina Creole I'm a little bit nervous at first because this is such a great show, and even though I've never been to any of the parks, I am a huge media nerd in general and just want to match the energy, but also bring a little bit something different. I think I accomplished that. Thank y'all for making it so comfortable. I'm on my channel, Braylon Lee. It's called Braylon's Virtual Tour. And we do a show called Braylon's Virtual Tour Live. So we take you to the hottest destinations that you guys are traveling to on social media. And you do see some theme park news on the show. And we've done, what have we done? We've done like a Disney Quest breakdown. If it could come back as the Dave and Buster's for Disney, because, regional entertainment. We talked about Epic Universe, the D23 announcements. So always theme park stuff over there. And I'm usually go live pretty much every day, Monday through Friday. I try to take Thursdays off unless there's something in the culture to talk about. And so yeah, but one love, much love, all love, and just a little funny before we go. I did get an email saying that Groot does have Bayou cousins. So you might picture that email literally just came in from Disney, just as a little funny.
See, I love this energy. Braylon has such great energy. So I definitely look forward to bringing him back on the show at
Thank you.
At a future date, for real. So folks, make sure you go out there and you do subscribe to Braylon's channel, up and coming. You want to jump in on the bottom floor, you will enjoy it. I usually don't. I do a lot of stealth watching. So you may not see me there, but I'll be watching and happen to drop in the Braylon's channel. And I'm just like, this is so interesting. So I'm like, hey, how you doing? And it was kind of like, Lorena's in the chat. Like, okay, maybe I should because I don't like throwing people. I don't like throwing people's.
No, it is all good. And let me tell you, when I cover theme park news, I do not play. So I bring up articles from the past and connections and stuff. Even the Marvel Superhero Island, they are able to utilize those characters because of the time period, but they cannot use any other character. So that media brain that's braining all the time, that is in my theme park coverage on my channel. And believe me, it's there.
All right. Yes, Amanda, I am interested. I'm gonna have to check out that video. So what she's talking about is Magic Candle Company, and I do have an affiliate link to Magic Candle Company and a discount code. Although the discount that they have going on right now for 25% for Black Friday is bigger than the discount that you will get with me. So I would definitely say go check it out. Magic Candle Company is a local company. They do white label products for SeaWorld, for Universal. Disney decided to go with Scentsy, which is a multi-level marketing company. And I'm
Scensy's a big
not. Yeah, I'm not happy they did that. I'm like, you have this local company, why not use them? But no matter. They're doing really good, and the scents they have are absolutely incredible. You can find them out at the at SeaWorld, at Universal. They are a little bit more of a markup than on their site because they are, themed to the parks. But I'm working on a cheat sheet to tell you which ones those actual scents are. Like Creature from the Black Lagoon. Yes, they have a candle for that. That is actually the Jungle Boat scent at Magic
Okay.
Candle Company. So you don't have to, well, maybe I should, well, yeah, either way, they're going to get money. You don't have to buy it at the markup at the parks. So again, I'm working on that cheat sheet and I'll have that ready for members probably early
I
next
was going to
year.
say with Epic Universe, there might be some new scents, and Villains Land, there might be some new scents. So new stuff is good for everybody.
Yeah, new stuff is great, and I love talking about that company again. They're a local company, which reminds me, I think my monthly fragrance oil shipment just hit my mailbox today. So to go and check it out. They do
Awesome.
have subscriptions, so do check them out. Magic Candle Company. I've got the link in the description box. Hashtag not sponsored. I can't believe I actually get to say that, but hashtag not sponsored. I get an affiliate link, but no, they're not sponsored. It's just if the products are good, and I've used their products for over 2 years, so they've been very consistent. So I like shouting out stuff that works and stuff that I think everyone will enjoy, especially if you cannot get to the parks. You can have your house smelling like Pirates of the Caribbean. Literally,
Pirate
it
Spirit,
smells.
that is sold separately.
Yes. Maybe a little top of rum actually that's on it as well. Ron, what do you have going on? Let folks know about.
Yes.
Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. on Follow the Bradley's Fun is the Daily Dish, where we talk about theme park news, pop culture news, whatever is hot topic at the moment. Of course, you can see me throughout the week, often on the WDW Pro channel, along with Lorena and That Park Place and T3PO, and wherever they ask for me to be over there, I'll be over there. We also have family vlogs. I did a family vlog on Thanksgiving about our little visit to Cracker Barrel. It's fun because of all of the, not as much for the food, which is good, but for the Cracker Barrel store. They sell the Atari 2600, the original model at Cracker Barrel. Did you know that? I didn't know that.
No.
I know. Wow. It was wild. So that vlog came out today, and they have the original Etch-a-Sketch that they sell in their store. They sell Viewmasters in their store. They sell Stretch Armstrong, which I thought was really cool. So there's all kinds of that kind of fun stuff at the Cracker Barrel stores, and I live literally walking distance from it, which is very, very cool. So we do family vlogs on the channel. There's also Christmas ambiance on the channel, so you can put that up. And I am working on a lot more news analysis, news commentary, news opinion related stories. That those will start. There'll be a lot more of those on the channel that are related to like the Daily Dish and the stuff we do on the WDW Pro channel and those types of things. So we're kind of switching gears more towards that because that's what the audience wants. So I'm all about giving the audience what the audience wants. So yes. Follow the Bradley's Fun is the name of the channel, and it's not, I should put that in the I always forget to type that here, but yeah, it's not Ron Bradley, it's Follow the Bradley's Fun. And if you type that in anywhere, I'll type it in here so that you can it says edit name right here. Let's see if I can do that on the fly. Follow the Bradley. How fast of a typist am I?
Oh, don't worry.
There
you go.
Boom. Type that in on X, yes. On X and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and here in YouTube, and you'll find us. We're there. With my wife is from Venezuela. We're going to be doing some Venezuelan cooking stuff on the channel for Christmas and that kind of thing. So yeah, we've got lots of good stuff coming up.
I am loving all the cooking stuff. Erica, she couldn't make it because she's out at the Christmas markets because she's on a mission for me. She's gonna get me the actual glass that when I went to the Christmas markets, I didn't get the glass that the blue wine came in for some reason. I didn't know that. So she's out visiting the Christmas markets, and she also has like a couple of cooking videos. I got to get to it because I have some of mine actually that I'm working on that eventually I'm going to be posting for you guys to check out. And yeah, let's see. Tomorrow, I forget tomorrow. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, the watch party for White Chicks. Retro Nerd Girl and I, we are going to be watching one of our favorite movies to watch. Forget being PC. I love this darn movie. So we're going to be watching that at 8 p.m. Eastern this evening. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern is the Welcome to Florida show. We will have Florida Man Bingo. Basically like bingo, but we have squares for different Florida Man activities like DUI, Grand Theft Auto, petty theft, golf cart assault. Either way, we came up with that because there's always more stories than we can fit into an hour. So we have a bingo game where we're just literally rattling off these stories, and we have Florida Man Bingo. So we will have a
Good
prize
time.
for you, which I gotta actually go over to Gatorland and pick up a little bit. So make sure you drop in for that. And of course, Monday, I will be streaming live from Epcot. We're going to be checking out the glittering greenhouses over in the Land Pavilion and seeing if the lights work at Epcot. And if we have time, probably going to hop on over to the Magic Kingdom as they do not close until 11 p.m. on Monday night. Interesting. Yeah. So they're going to be up. So we are going to have a great time. Again, working on cooking videos. Some of you guys are interested in that. So I'm probably going to be dropping those for members as well with the different dishes that I make for Christmas and also the homemade spice mixes that I make as well. And speaking of current events, I'm probably going to lose brain cells, so I'm going to have to do some extra reading. I may actually start deconstructing The View because the crap they spew on that show, I'm just like, I'm sorry. You said what? No, wait, no.
Oh
No.
Yeah,
we gotta break.
I covered two moments from The View. One of them would be saying that she was a working woman compared to her EGOT status. And then for her birthday, she had a face of herself on some cheese, and she said out loud on national television in front of a live audience and Brian Teta, who's the executive producer. She said she likes to be eating from time to time, and Sarah Haynes walked off the camera. I'm just like, wait a minute. I know the control room and Brian Teta and the executives, because sometimes executives they'll have the TV shows live in their boardrooms and offices, and I know they just had to be like, yep, that really was just said on ABC. Okay, just another day at work.
There's just something fermenting in my brain about The View. So make sure you're subscribed because I just may drop a video where I basically EFAP what The View does with their hot topics. I guess they drop highlights on YouTube. So I may be there with a glass of wine, breaking that down and doing some kind of chaser at the end to restore the brain cells that I lost. But if it helps somebody else, I'm good with it. So watch out for that. You guys, as always, have been amazing. Thank you so much, Braylon, for joining us. Thank you, Ron, for popping in on the channel. Erica, we miss you. I hope you drank lots of blue wine for me and did not spend too much at the Christmas markets out there in Germany. You all take care. Make sure you're
Love
subscribed
everybody.
to Braylon. Make sure you're subscribed to Ron. Make sure you're subscribed to me. And we will see you all next time. Bye.